Today I'm going to be going over a modification that I made to a vise several years ago, and that vise was going to be part of a welding station that I had at that time. Hi, I'm Dennis Frechette, and welcome back. Today I'm going to be revisiting the welding vise that I put together in my welding vise video that was put out about, I don't know, 8 or 10 years ago. At that time, I was doing a lot of different kind of work. My shop was set up very differently than it is now, and in all honesty, my shop was changing every couple of months because I have a small shop, the same shop that I'm in now, and you literally had to reconfigure it every time a different job came in. This vise and the welding station that I featured in that welding vise video was part of that setup. When I needed to weld something that was kind of complicated, I would pull it out, assemble it. When I didn't need it, it went back on the wall and gave me room to do whatever else was going on. But now I'm settling into how the shop is going to stay, and all the changes that I've made over the years, most of them are gone. Most of them were just tailored to one idea, one job sometimes to be able to get it done. So they got dismantled, the parts got reused for other things. But this vise stayed, and I still use it today, and I'm going to give you another look at it. So that's what I have for you today, and I hope you find it interesting. The main component of my welding station was the vise. I had it mounted on a simple pipe stand, so that allowed me to pull it out and move it wherever I needed it to go. This happens to be an all steel welded vise, so it'll take a lot of pounding, but that doesn't really matter in this case because I was just going to be using it to hold pieces together while I was welding them. But the main reason that I wanted to use this vise is because the heads of the screws that hold the vise jaws to the vise are on the outside, so they're accessible even when the vise is in use. So I thought that was a really good feature. And sitting on the anvil, you'll see the vise that I'm replacing. There's nothing wrong with that vise. It's a good vise, but it just weighs 3 times what the new vise weighs. So wasn't a big deal back then, but by the time I replaced it, it had grown to be like 10 times the weight. So it was just getting really awkward to move around. The other component that made this system work was this adjustable arm that I made. It can be locked in any position and would actually hold a tremendous amount of weight, so that made a lot of jobs possible. Here it's mounted to a storage bracket that I have mounted to the wall, but it's actually made to fit on the horizontal pipe that's welded to the back of the vise stand. And that as a unit can go anywhere. I can mount it back on the anvil stand, and I also had a couple of outdoor workstations that would fit this system, so I could pretty much handle anything that would come into my shop anyway. I'll have the link to the original video in the description, as well as other videos that I think you'd be interested in. Some of the older videos may have this follow me on Facebook stuff or Instagram or whatever. Just disregard that. I'm not doing Facebook or any of that stuff anymore. I like doing videos, but I have no intentions of stopping what I'm doing every 3 minutes just to take pictures to post on social media. I tried it for a while, it's just not for me. So you will see this from time to time until I can get around to updating these videos. At this point in my life, I'm concentrating mainly on hand forging and, the bench work that's required to finish a hand forged piece. I rarely do any welding anymore, so I don't need a welding station like this. So the anvil has turned into my main workspace. And my workbench has turned into a work board that I can plug into my anvil whenever I need it. The last thing that I needed to do was to modify my welding vise to fit into this system. So I removed the original stand and replaced it with a peg that would fit into my hardy hole, as well as the work board, because I've included a hardy hole in the corner of that. I'm still storing this welding vise on the wall, but it's taking up 1/10 of the space that the original welding station did. So that allows me to regain all of that wall space and bring out a lot of tools that I had in storage, because at the time I wasn't using them as much as I was using this welding station. Now, on the other hand, I'm using this welding vise all the time, and actually rarely for welding. I use it a lot as an anvil vise just because it's so easy to drop it into the hardy hole, especially if you're just doing, a simple bend using a scroll fork or something like that. So after all these years, I'm still really happy with this design. There really isn't anything that I would change about it. It still works great as a normal vise, and that little extra space that you get from those two tables that are welded to the jaws are so handy for so many things. I have had my share of crazy ideas, and I really don't want to talk about those, but this was definitely a home run. So that's why I wanted to take it off the wall and let you have another look at it.